Alright, y'all. We are back with another video, but we are here with something different. I am here to present you my NBA 2K26 offline wish list. An NBA 2K26 wish list offline edition. What led me to make this video was I went back to 2K23 recently, right? I'm like, okay, so now the servers are off. What is NBA 2K23 going to be? What the servers off 2K23 is basically play now, blacktop, and my league. No, my team that's online based, that's gone. My park is gone. My career is gone. You can't even access my career. So I said to myself, why not make a 2K26 wish list in January and not drop it in June or July or maybe a month before the game comes out? Because by then the game is pretty much done. And it's like what? It's like there's no point. You know what I mean? They'll just push it off to 2K27. Some of this stuff we need this now. 2K26 in the midway of 2K25. So we're gonna start this wish list because I have a list right here. Show you guys. See if y'all can see that. It's too bright. But we have a very lengthy, in-depth detail wish list. So let's start with my eras, the men's edition. So for the most part, I really don't have a problem with the eras. I have not really any problems with my eras, but would like to have a more atmosphere feel like the old generation 2Ks like NBA 2K12. After watching a few NBA 2K12 videos, I'm looking back at the eras, you know what I mean? The Bill Russell versus Will Chamberlain era, how it was gradient, black and white, no 3-point line, things like that. 2K26 can do that, hopefully. 2K25, 24, 23, they should have already had that. But if they could have a more atmosphere feeling, because I already know they have like the gradient to put on to make it feel like you're playing in the 90s, 2000s. But if we had another era like the Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain era, was black and white, 3-point line, things like that, that would be really good for to add to another my league, or as they have in my eras. Let's pull up the eras while we are here, shall we? So the eras that we do have is the Magic Bird era, the Jordan era, the Kobe era, LeBron era, Curry era, and the modern era. I mean, in my opinion, the Curry era, the Curry era and the LeBron era are pretty much like the same kind of era. Maybe, well, they got LeBron from 2011 on here, so. And then Curry era's from 2000. I would have said 2015 because that's when the dynasty really started from 15 to 19. That was an amazing 4 year run. So if I was to start the Curry era, I would have had the Curry with the afro. Now, I will say this. I do appreciate 2K adding the 2016 Curry in the game and not copy and pasting the same Curry with the beard because he didn't have that 2016. I've been saying that for the longest time, and 2K actually listened and put the right Curry, the 2016 era, in the game. So I do appreciate. And now is next on the list, and that is no biasness. I do like the Curry era. Again, no bias, but I would personally say the Curry era started 2015. We had the Afro instead of the 2016. But I do appreciate how they added the 16 and the rookie version of Curry, and we'll like the Wilt versus Wilt Chamberlain versus Bill Russell era. Now, next on my list, let's head in. See, Blacktop, in my opinion, needed an overhaul years ago because, and this is just me, and this is what I have written down in my notes. Blacktop is okay, but I'm tired of the same ringers versus ballers since 2K forever. Ringers versus ballers has been going on since 2K forever. I personally would like to see that two captains be named after each other for the teams. Like, for example, if you pick 1-on-1, you say Team LeBron versus Team Jordan, or Team Kobe versus Team Curry, or Team Kyrie versus Team Iverson, things like that, instead of having ringers versus ballers that they've been having since 1500 years of 2K. You know what I mean? And also with the clothes. We all know for the clothes, the players wear their team tracksuits. There's too many brands in 2K now. This isn't 2K12, 13, 14 when they didn't have the brands in the game. 2K, especially in the my career, has hundreds of brands in the game, but we're still wearing our tracksuits, our jumpsuits from our team. We're still wearing the Golden State Warriors tech, the New York Knicks Nike tech. Can we have players wear their brands? Like for example, Curry, right? Steph Curry has his own Curry brand. That would be a nice touch for Steph Curry to walk on the court with his own brand. Same with LeBron, same with Jordan, with Kobe, Iverson, Kyrie. For the players that have their own brand to wear them on the court, or if you want them to wear the tracksuit, they can. But I think it'll be a nice touch for players to wear their own specific thing that they created for themselves to have a nice little touch to blacktop. And I did say this last year as well with the courts to have another kind of environment instead of the same blacktop court that we've been having for the last few years. I have in my notes, would like to play in different gyms, parks, environments, especially since my park has the 2K15 style courts. I believe I said this in the last year's video that the community could send in different kinds of courts and 2K picks which court looks really nice for maybe every season instead of the same regular blacktop. That would be pretty nice. And loading up custom rosters in different eras, they're fine. I don't have a real problem with that. To be able to load our rosters, so wherever our player is at, we can use that player or my players, things like that. But I would like to see a different environment for the courts. Now, then we got that out the way. The W. I have in my notes. The W, my career is solid. I see the vision, but would like for it to be expanded more, maybe a storyline like how the men's have on their side, and have multiple voices for the press conference. I was just watching a video of a WNBA my career, and the voices and the players don't really match. You know what I mean? Like if you and it's not a race thing, but let's be real. If you have a black character, they're not supposed to sound white. Remember when 2K15 they had three or four different voices? That would be nice to have in my career in general, to have different voices so we're not all sounding exactly the same. That would be pretty nice to have.
Is the greatest scorer of all time, over 11,000 points and counting, and it just doesn't get any greater than that. And I like to score too, so it gives me something to shoot for.
You just mentioned an incredible player who's had a legendary career. Have you had a chance to interact with them? And did they give you any meaningful advice?
I did. We have the same agent, and we met at an event. She gave me her number and said, text her anytime, and I have. The best advice she's given me so far, it made me laugh. She said, stay humble off the court, not on it. She should copyright that. I told her.
Yeah, that's great advice. On another note, there's been a lot of hype about your draft class coming into the league. You've played against Caitlin Clark in club-level basketball and in college. How will that rivalry continue in the WNBA?
Yeah, you all know I'm familiar with Caitlin's game. She's such an incredible player, but at the same time, I'm pretty good too. I think our competitiveness is at the same level. We both want to win every time we play on that court. Fans are definitely going to see that play out in the league for a long time to come, starting with the Rookie of the Year race.
Coming from where you came from, what are you looking forward to most being in this city with this incredible fan base?
I'm used to big crowds and rabid fans, and I love the city I came from. I'm excited to get to know this one. I like to explore and have fun and see the sights, but when it comes to basketball, I'm all business.
And I speak for everybody, well, maybe not, but for the majority of the people on the W, park co-ed, even for the offline version, so the blacktop. A lot of content creators have been asking for women and men to be on the court together for a while. And even for blacktop. That would be a really nice touch to have WNBA players versus male players, or both of them being on the same team, even for blacktop. That would be a really nice touch for the offline edition. And for the W, playing in the woods is okay, I guess. But again, same with blacktop. Would like to see more, as I put, atmospheres and gyms having more custom courts would be really nice for blacktop. Having our own custom, playing on our own custom court, or having the community send in different courts to play on. That gives the consumer a feeling of the brand and the company is listening to their consumers. So why not have the community involved and bring in a few people to make some designs for blacktop in the park, and say, why not use this for a season, use this for a season, and this for a season. But that's just me personally. Now, next, my NBA for the W. I've said this for a while now. Long overdue community uploads like the men's My NBA. Full court jerseys makes it a lot easier when making high school and college WNBA finals. If you've been following this channel for the last few years, I have made high school hoops and college back-to-back years. It will be really nice, 2K. To be just a little considerate for the W and have community uploads, because that makes it a lot easier to edit jerseys and upload them to the community, so that we have the easy way to download instead of creating all these jerseys from scratch. I made all of these jerseys in the W. We'll go to it right now. I made all of these jerseys from scratch. And just to show you exactly what I'm talking about, this is what I'm saying when this loads. Right? All these I made from scratch, from zero, right? Will be really nice. And somewhere, I believe it's somewhere right here in the men's side, to have community uploads so that they can, or even people like me, can upload the jerseys, the courts, all into the community files. And I'll pull up the men's side really quick just to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Because some people are going like, what are you talking about? Let me show you. See how the women's side doesn't have this, right? Male side, front office, team relocation, 2K shared teams and designs. I don't understand why the women don't have this, but again, I've said this, I believe, last year as well. Why not give the women that, that ability as well? Also, in the W, league expansion should have more than two slots, not just the two slots that they have, especially since there are more teams coming into the WNBA. Again, let's go back here and show you again how, even though there's a lot of teams coming to the WNBA, like the Valkyries, I believe there's a team at Toronto, Portland coming pretty soon. Why is there only two slots? There could be more than two slots, 2K. Come on. That's what I mean by showing a little more consideration. I know it's only 12 teams in the W, but why are they limited to only two extra teams? That I don't understand. Why not give more slots? Maybe, I don't know, maybe not infinity amount, but at least that would be nice to have a cool 8 more, maybe 10 more. Because even again, for people like me that make these jerseys from scratch, it would be nice to have more teams instead of being limited to the 12 that I made last year. So why not? What I do like about 2K25 this year that there is the playoff edition for the women's. Let me check real quick, right? There is the playoffs. I do like this for the W. For the men's side, I don't know why the playoffs are not there. That would be really nice to have the playoffs here and play now and not just for the W. So, I mean, just why not be a little more again considerate 2K and add the playoffs for the men's. And also I have my notes. For some reason the 2K shares uploads for me were broken. I don't know why, but I've already talked to 2K about this, about the game crashing on the PC version when trying to upload shares and uploads after making custom rosters from scratch. Now, next, create a player. Let's scroll to create a player. Just real quick. This right here is probably the most lengthiest part of the video. The men's edition, right? Because I know 2K, first I have on my list, I'm pretty sure 2K is going to start updating these faces again. But you know, 2K, after every 3 to 5 years, they refresh the faces, which is fine, I guess. The hair is okay. Some hairs do seem a little repetitive. We like to have more standout hairstyles like the older 2Ks. So in my game, I do have a mod where there are some standout hairs. They're kind of hidden hairs, but a lot of these hairs in this game seem a little repetitive though, right? You have crop one, two, three, four, five. Where's six? I don't know, but 5, 6, 7 cropped haircuts. They have about four afros. They got two different sets of mohawks. I mean, yeah. So again, I do have mods that make my game look a little different, but if you look on the picture, they have two kind of the same mohawk. This pullover haircut, this is in here a lot. So I will say that 2K does have a lot of repetitive hairstyles that I would like to see kind of like trimmed down a little. Okay, so there's six. And then there's crop medium. They have a lot of cropped hairstyles in this game. I don't know why, because LeBron only really has one hairstyle. I mean, if that's what the goal is to make a LeBron James career player, they don't need 8 versions of cropped hairstyles. But I mean, the hairs again, they're fine, I guess, but there are a lot of repetitive hairstyles, and we'll like to see more unique hairstyles. Not to sound like a broken record from everybody else, but I would say personally, from that 15 to 17 era, the dreads, elite. The afros in this game, they're cool, but the afro from 15 to 17 now was top tier. I mean, they're kind of got waves in the game, but they're not really waves. You know what I mean? Like this. These are kind of waves, but they're not really though. Like these are just like ripples. Let me see. You know, you gotta play barbershop just to make sure you know. See what I'm talking about. See, these is kind of waves, but eh, they could pass for waves, but they're not the waves like how they were back in the other 2Ks, the older 2Ks. Again, they also have this hairstyle in the game, crop date. These are probably the closest thing to waves that we had in a long time, but they're just named crop date. So, I mean, this would be nice if it said waves instead of crop date, is what I'm saying. So, there's that. There's the hairstyles. I mean, the beards are fine, I guess. To the older 2Ks, like 2K14, Bears was okay in that game too, but we'll see. Yeah, the Beards are fine in 2K. I don't really have a problem with them too much. Then you can add your own stubbles to it and make it a little more defined, things of that nature. I do like how they have different skin tones. That's very interesting this year. How they have like the same skin tone, but one is a little more defined, another one is a little smoother. Found that be kind of interesting. Now, I don't know if this is a glitch in 2K on my end, but for some reason, as soon as I press over one, he goes from normal human to Wimbenyama. You see how his body just changed, right? Let's do this again. Let's do this again. Hold on, hold on. Let's do it one more time so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Watch how his body just, okay, we got a skinny guy. Watch how his body just transforms. See how his shoulders just moved up like this off a wingspan. I don't know if that's a glitch or not, but that just sound kind of, it just look kind of weird, you know. Tattoos are fine in the game. Would like to see a little more different tattoos. I don't know why, but the older 2Ks you could put face tattoos. This 2K, the newer 2Ks you can't. Maybe that's more of a basketball and NBA thing, but older 2Ks you could put on face tattoos, but these games you can't. And not this face paint mess. I don't know whose idea was to add this in the game, but I'd rather have real face tattoos than to be walking around like this. I don't know whose idea this was. Now the painted nails is one thing because there are some NBA players that have painted nails, like Jalen Green. Ooh, somebody's calling me chat. Hold on. Somebody's. Good. I'm back. So, like I was saying, right? I'd rather see players with painted nails, only because there are some NBA players that paint their nails. The ability to paint your nails, and your creative players such as Clarkson, Green, Jalen Green, and some other players that paint their nails. Not whatever this is. I don't know whose idea this was to walk around here with Milwaukee Buck painting on their face on both sides of their face. But you know what? Be great. Anyways, shoes and gear. The shoes are fine. I guess they're fine. But we gonna get into creative shoes in a second, right? What I would personally like to see is the undershirts, like how they had in the old 2Ks, like 13, 14, 15, the ability to put on an undershirt. And I know 2K probably stopped doing it because, oh, well, you can't see the undershirt, so oh, we waste our time putting it in the game. Right. But it's just the thought that counts to put the undershirt like how you did before. That would be pretty nice. Like tank tops, how the older 2Ks were, like I have in my notes. Also, would like to see creative players have masks, goggles, and mouthpieces, like how a lot of people thought they were getting in 2K16. Right? For example, let's start with masks. Players, instead of just, because I know maybe when you break your nose, you want to put on a face mask, right? Or even just throwing it on as an accessory, that would be pretty nice to put under shoes and gear. Probably right under undershirt to throw on a face mask if you want to. Goggles. I know players like Olivia Miles wears goggles. Kurt Rambis, I believe back in the day, wore goggles. So that would be a nice addition to, for our creative players to put on goggles to have a nice little personality touch. Mouthpieces. I was watching the 2K16 trailer. I was like, man, this the year we finally get mouthpieces. Boy, was I wrong. I'm thinking like, man, it's gonna be the year. Like Curry, we getting a trailer of him with a mouthpiece out his mouth. LeBron, Chris Paul, all these players that were mouthpieces, mouthpiece out of their mouth. Mouthpiece, mouthpiece out of their mouth. I don't understand why creative players can't have it. That would be a nice touch for offline for our players. So if you want to have a Steph Curry moment where we got our mouthpiece out of our mouth, why not have it? To have that real Curry feel. Even if you have a creative Steph Curry, why not have the mouthpiece out the mouth and he does his free throw routine? That'd be pretty nice touch. Anyways, now this is the biggest thing for me, right? I personally, and I say this in capital letters, would like to see a celebration wheel for creative players. Like how they did back in 2K17, 16 for my career. Or no, 17 through 18, 19, 20, when we had full access in capital letters, full access to celebration animation for players. For example, back in the old 2K, 2K17 specifically was when it first started, where players or your my player could do certain celebrations like, I don't know, Curry, LeBron, KD, or even have your own celebrations like how they had back in the day at the folks, things like that. So I have in my notes, have like a four celebration wheel with the Curry Night Night. If you want to do LeBron Crown, the head tap, or the Jalen Brunson, or you want to do the gritty or something like that to give our players some a little more personality. That would be really nice to have for our creative players and both men and women. We're gonna get on the women's side in just a second. Even secret dunks would be nice to have. Unlockable dunks and green release animations would be nice, like how they had in 2K18. Now, I know 2K18 is that game where nobody likes, but I will say this: the green release animations, even for offline, that was it's a nice little touch. Steph Curry hit a three and he turn around and things like that. That'd be pretty nice. I'm tired of seeing our players do the same animations that yeah, like I'm tired of seeing that, and that's really on the women's side too. But anyway, badges badges are fine. And now heading to creative player on the women's side. I will say this for the women's side. I do like how they have all the hairs. Because there are some women that, got the little bob cut. You know what I mean? They got the one with the skin fade. That's a nice touch for the women to have all the hairstyles. And the body, in my opinion, has the same thing with the men. That's why you see this player I have. It's built like this with these kind of Dwight Howard shoulders. Is because I was trying to make some configurations with the body frame. I don't know why the women don't have body types like how the men have. As you can see, I can scroll all the way to the bottom and it just skin and that's it. But on the men's side, there were body types. And just to show you real quick how the men, let me just click on this player, right? How men have different body types. I don't know why the women don't have that, but that would be pretty dope for 2K26 to have different body shapes, arm hair, and arm freckles. So if I want to change my player's body type and create a player, that'd be pretty nice to have for the women as well. The tattoos are fine. I mean, I would like to see. I mean, I don't know how many women have face tattoos, but that'd be pretty interesting for have a creative player with face tattoos instead of just the face paint. Undershirts would be pretty nice, but would also like the one arm sleeve look. Also, in the creative player would like to have face masks, goggles, and mouthpieces, like how I said with Olivia Miles. She wears goggles in her game to, prevent eye pokes. It shouldn't just be a injury protection thing in the game. It should just be an accessory just to have on for our own personality. Then again, for the celebration wheel, would like to have full access to the celebrations that are in the game, even if you have a female character to have male celebrations as well, and not our players walk around with the yeah. Like we kind of, I'm tired of seeing that respectfully. So if I have a female character and I want to hit them with the night night, Why not have that? Or this, or this. That would be pretty nice addition to have for our players.
Cool, but I can understand why 2K might not use that. But you can also have like a custom facial skin. Now that's dope. Now we've been asking for this. So like, let's see. See, they apply the custom facial skin, and then they're gonna expand the size of it. Now, come on, now that's fire right there. That's fire. So anyway, that's cool. The quality of the image is a little bit low, so maybe that wouldn't be the greatest thing after all. For this game, it works fine, but for 2K, um, mm, but we could if we could add individual images for like the eyebrow. Well, they got eyebrows and stuff. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, it's still cool to have.
Badges, again, they're fine. I don't really have a problem with it. And again, back to the celebration. This should be a celebration wheel to pick at least four celebrations for our characters. You know how the controllers they have the four right here. Why not use these to, you know, for our players? But anyways, for the right stick. I'm sorry, it was the right stick in the older 2Ks. After a good play or whatever you do in the game, why not have a emote or anime celebration? Shoe creator. Shoe creator. This is this might be the last one. I think this is the last thing I have on this list of shoe creator. What else I have? For the creative players, isn't too bad. Do like the body types for creative players. Which we went over. Different skin tones, body, da da da. Okay, yeah. Shoe creator. Shoe creator. Extremely overdue. And I was watching the old 2Ks again, like 2K14, and I'm sitting back realizing how old these bases are. I think it's time for a refresh on these bases. Because I remember for a fact Gento had these exact same shoes. It's just they were like a light peach color instead of it being gray, the base gray. The same stars. These been in the game since 2K14. Think it's time to have a little refresh with the shoe crate. And I've said this in previous 2Ks. Right, and I have in my notes. We'll like to see more designs, custom uploads, not the same ones from 2K14. Especially since we have upload pictures to my league and my team, should be able to upload our own custom pictures to our shoes to give us our own creativity in the shoe creator. I think it was the infamous NY. He posted a picture of Zion Williamson on his shoes. Said, you know what? I don't know why we can't do this in 2K. Why can't we upload our own specific pictures in 2K to give us our own little pizzazz to our shoes? Give us our own background personality to our shoes instead of just wearing the same shoes that's been in the game for 1,000 years. Now, I don't know why, for some reason, you can't create custom shoes for an Anta brand, Lining, and One Peak, whatever brand this um, is this brand right here. I don't know what this brand is. This might be a Chinese brand. We can't make shoes for that one. Kyodon 361 and Skechers. I don't understand why we can't make shoes for these brands. That would be pretty nice for that to be unlocked 2K. I don't understand why they're in the game if we can't really do anything with them. Other than that, rosters are fine for the most part. Gameplay is not bad. I mean, the sliders make a huge difference. We shouldn't have to play with the tendencies and have sliders for the players to play like how they play IRL. For example, Curry should shoot a lot more like how he does IRL in real life, other than him shooting 8 times, 8 times an entire game, or even efficiency. Our players, our teammates shouldn't be shooting 2 of 15. When have you ever seen Kevin Durant or LeBron or Curry or Shea just shoot 2 of 18? That's nasty work. Our players should play like how they play in real life, shooting tendencies, how they play. You got 10,000 animations in the game, so how they move, how they feel, but when they get in the game, they just throwing up bricks all day. That'd be pretty nice to have 2K for our players to at least help us out. So we're not dropping Chris Smooth numbers. 75 points, 50 rebounds, and 35 assists, 10 steals, and 15 blocks to win a game. We should have KD do his part, Booker do his part, Curry do his part, Bron 80 do their thing. You know what I mean? We shouldn't have to play with tendencies and sliders for our players to play how they're supposed to play, like how they play in real life. And for the PC, hopefully next year the anti-cheat isn't as crazy so that we can have mods for the PC community because that's a huge Debbie Downer. A lot of people buy PC for mods, for gameplay, and then with the anti-cheat, I know a lot of people can't even get into that. The game gets kind of stale. You know what I mean? So that would be nice for the anti-cheat not to be as crazy for 26. So we can have some funny gameplay mods, man, like the 1,000 overall ankle breaker or shooting from full court from out of bounds. That'd be pretty nice to have for next year for 2K26. And with that being said, that is my entire list of the 2K offline edition for 2K26. So just to break down again, I don't understand why 2K spent so much time into my career and when the servers cut off, they're not even useful. This game should be worth $10 when the servers cut off. Because it's just play now, blacktop in my league. And they still charging $60 for 2K23. I don't know why. But anyways, went over the men. My era would be nice to have the atmosphere feeling for that eras that they're playing in. Like the Bill versus Walt, Bill versus Wilt Chamberlain era. No 3-point line, black and white, things like that. Curry era is fine. I would rather be 2015. Blacktop our players wear their own brands instead of them wearing ringers versus ballers. That's long overdue. I understand they went from the black versus white to their jumpsuits, but it would be nice for players to wear their own specific brand if they have one in the game. And have different courts instead of the same courts that they've been using since forever. Let us play in different gyms, arenas, atmospheres, things like that would be pretty nice as well. Especially since 2K15, 2K25 has a 2K15 style courts this year. The W, I would like to see more voices, hear more voices in the story and press conference. Would like to see a storyline like how the men's have theirs, like actual cutscenes instead of just I'm just in the WNBA all of a sudden. Co-ed parks for offline, even for blacktop, would be nice. Playing in the woods is all right, but would like to change it up a little bit here and there if I wanted to. The WNBA My League, long overdue community uploads. I don't know why that's not in the game because for people like me that make rosters from scratch, make rosters from scratch. I would have liked to have a community upload so that we don't have to keep going boom, 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 and it takes like weeks and weeks to get all the jerseys right, the course right, the logos right, players right, things like that take a very long time. So to kind of trim it down some, we'll have community uploads. That'd be a nice thing to have. 2K shares, I should say. The creative player mins would like to have full access to the celebration animations in the game. Um, the hairs are okay, I guess. The beards are fine, I guess. Would like to have more accessories like the undershirts. You can't see them anyway, but it's the thought that counts. The old 2K, they had them in there. Like to see goggles, face masks, mouthpieces, the little things that 2K will add for certain players. I don't understand why we don't get those as creative players. That would be really nice to have our own personality, to wear goggles, face masks, mouthpieces. Just like how how Curry had the one arm sleeve. That was a nice touch. That was a nice personality thing. Or the one leg sleeve. The celebration wheel went over. For men and women should have all the celebrations in the game. So if I have a female character that's the night night, you know, that'd be pretty cool to have for a female character. Shoe creator, long overdue. Don't understand why we don't have the ability to create custom shoes for Li Ning, Anta, and One Peak, the Chinese brand. I think Austin Reeves is signed with Keo Don, 361 and Skechers. Rosters are fine for the most part. We don't really have any new all-time teams to talk about. Maybe adding the Lakers. The 2010 Laker team would be nice, but I'm gonna leave that to y'all on the rosters who 2K should add. I'll probably say 2010 Lakers. Or like the we believe Warriors in the game. Yeah, 2010 Lakers would be nice. That'd be a nice touch. Gameplay isn't too bad. They have 10,000 animations in the game, but I would definitely like to see the players, our teammates, play how they're supposed to play and not just running around here like chickens with their heads cut off, just throwing up threes and bricks all day. That's annoying. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Anti cheat. Hopefully that's not insane, so we can have more funny videos on YouTube to watch for 2K. And that is the end of my wish list so far. That is version one. I don't know if I'll make a version two, but that is the end of this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. For this, I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next video, man. All right, so we're here with a part two to the wish list. Shout out to K4RL, aka Carl. I was watching his video for a second and scroll down to his description page, or description section, and I came across some things he had in his wish list. We already went over movements and graphics, I guess. Player, coaches, fan reaction. Now, this would caught my attention. Realistic players, coaches, and fan reaction. Maybe too much to ask for every play, but maybe some amazing plays like buzzer beaters or poster staring down someone and get a technical foul like how the NBA is today. And I didn't know this, that fans, once you hit like a buzzer beater, they're just like, yeah, yeah, he hit a buzzer beater, cool. But when the fans they shoot that half court shot and make it, it's like they just won the NBA Finals in a Game 7 buzzer beater. See how it just doesn't make sense? Like, how could a game winner in an NBA let me pull something up real quick. Let me show y'all. Now, see, something like this in 2K would make the game immersion so much better, in my opinion. R.I.P. Kobe. His passing day was just yesterday. We're gonna get these videos out in his memory. But player team interaction, something like this. I mean, 2K, I mean, they already had something like this, but the immersion of the fans is what really makes the game more fun. Now, see something like this. This is what 2K should already have. This happened in 2006. It's 2025, and the fans just sitting there like, yeah, well, he's an NBA. He's supposed to make those shots. Like, no, like you're supposed to be going ape-ish like this. Your player hit this buzzer beater off a lean. This how the fans supposed to be acting. Screaming like this. The immersion, like what 2K was? I think it was like 2K16. Let me see, NBA 2K16. No, I'll create game winners. Y'all remember when you hit a game winner and the game starts shaking like this? This what 2K need. Now this is what I'm. This is aura
And
based.
if you're the guy who has to
Once
guard
you hit a game winner
him, it is
2K16,
never
the
going to
crowd
be an
starts,
easy
the
night
game
for
start
you.
to shake. Nah, and then he's standing there with so much aura. Look at Draymond. See this? See,
How could he
oh,
possibly have the nerve to knock that shot down? Big time clutch. And they're
but you
not
see how the fans are just like,
done yet.
enthusiastic that they just won the game of a full court buzzer beater. That's what 2K needs more of is fan interaction, fan enthusiasm. Or even players interacting with fans on the sideline. You know how fans get, they start talking too much, and NBA players retaliate. Stuff like that is it's the little stuff that makes 2K more fun to play on the offline edition. What would be really good too though, and then we're gonna move on to number three. What would be really good for 2K is to have mic'd up moments, like how the NBA has. If we had mic'd up moments on the court, I don't think 2K's ever done that. They had the mic'd up with the coaches back then, but we talking about players mic'd up on the court. That would be amazing for 2K. Just saying. Personal commentators for each team, plus playoffs or finals. Is this too much to ask? I get it. Because, you get tired of hearing Marv Albert every year. You know what I mean? You want to see and hear somebody different. So, for example, the Warriors commentators, they should be commentating the Warriors games. The Hornets commentator, the one that's overexcited, him, he should be doing the Hornets game. Lakers, whoever is the main commentator for each team should be commentating for the games. Because they already got the PA announcers. Why can't we get the commentators? You know what I mean? Make the commentators feel more alive for each play like they did in WWE. I don't play WWE, so I mean I can't really say anything about that. Make my career story interesting and longer. You can do that, but at the end of the day, in 2 years it's getting canceled. So I mean, I don't see them putting too much effort into my career anymore. I mean, they might throw a little storyline there, but after 2K28 dropped, 2K26, my career is no longer playable. That's something I talked about in the intro of this video. Why, after all this time, you spend a year making the storyline, but then after 2 years, the server's cut off and my career's not even playable anymore. So that's something I just don't understand. But anyways, that is his list for offline. That would be pretty interesting. But anyways, that's gonna end this off. You guys let me know down below in the comments how you feel about this. Send me 4 or 5 bullet point wish list. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next video.